I started this journey a while ago with Game of Thrones. Now I think it's time to continue with The Lord of the Rings. Welcome back everyone to another video that will help you find the correct order to read the Lord of the Rings books. Whether you're diving in for the first time or looking to add more books to your collection, there are a few great sets to add to your shelf. Maybe you prefer to pick the leather-bound version, but there are many other styles too. I'll try to avoid spoilers and keep it short because I know your time is valuable. In this video, I've divided Tolkien's Middle-earth works into two sections: the Lord of the Rings saga and additional reading. The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings books tell the stories of Bilbo and Frodo Baggins and are listed by the order of events. The extra reading section includes Middle-earth books published after Tolkien's death, ordered by when they were published. So, this is the best way to start reading the books. Start with The Hobbit, which has 310 pages. It's Tolkien's first Middle-earth book by in-universe chronology and real-world release date. The tale of Bilbo Baggins was first published in 1937, 17 years before the first volume of The Lord of the Rings. The book is recognized as a classic in children's literature and is one of the best-selling books of all time. Next is The Fellowship of the Ring, with 423 pages. Nearly 2 decades after The Hobbit, Tolkien published this first volume of The Lord of the Rings. It was split into 3 volumes for publication, with each volume containing 2 books. It's time for The Two Towers, with 352 pages. This is the second volume of The Lord of the Rings. The title is a bit unclear because 5 towers are mentioned, and even Tolkien gave different answers about which 2 towers he meant. The storylines are woven together, adding suspense and surprise. Critics loved it, finding it exciting and a great mix of epic story and heroic romance. Moving on to The Return of the King, with 416 pages. This is the third and last volume. It was praised by literary figures like Wystan Hugh Auden, Anthony Price, and Michael Straight, though Edwin Muir, who liked The Fellowship of the Ring, criticized this volume. Let's continue with additional Lord of the Rings books. First, we have The Silmarillion, with 365 pages. This was the first Middle-earth book published after Tolkien's death in 1973, edited by his son, Christopher Tolkien. It came out in 1977. It sold well, but got mostly poor reviews at the time. Next one is Unfinished Tales, with 480 pages. This collection of over a dozen stories and Middle-earth histories was also edited and published by Christopher Tolkien. Many stories are retold in the Silmarillion in different forms, and it includes a summary of the Lord of the Rings events from a less personal viewpoint. Now, you should read The History of Middle-earth, which has 5,440 pages. This 12-volume series was published between 1983 and 1996, compiled and edited by Tolkien's son. It collects and analyzes much of Tolkien's writings, including The Lord of the Rings, The Silmarillion, and other Middle-earth works. Next is The Children of Húrin, with 320 pages. It's the full version of the story of Turin Turambar from the Silmarillion. Illustrated by Alan Lee, this tale is one of the 3 great tales set in the First Age of Middle-earth, along with Beren and Luthien and the Fall of Gondolin. Moving to Beren and Luthien with 297 pages. This love story, set about 6,500 years before The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, first appeared in a shorter form in the Silmarillion. Christopher Tolkien compiled different versions of the story to create a single narrative about the adventures of the mortal man Beren and the immortal elf Luthien. Now, read The Fall of Gondolin, with 304 pages. This is the full version of a tale found in both the Silmarillion and Unfinished Tales. It's one of the 3 standalone stories from the First Age of Middle-earth. And finally, The Fall of Númenor, with 332 pages. This book is a collection of Tolkien's stories about the Second Age of Middle-earth. These stories have appeared in the Silmarillion, Unfinished Tales, and The History of Middle-earth. But here they are brought together in one volume by Brian Sibley, co-writer of the 1981 radio adaptation of The Lord of the Rings. The book was released to coincide with the TV series The Rings of Power, which is set in the Second Age. And that's all for now. If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. I really appreciate your support for the channel. It means a lot to me, you know. So thank you very much and have a great day.